Alright. You want to do that again so I can show everybody what you just showed me? Hang on, let me get the camera in there.
Well, first, if they remember, this is Corey's car, and he brought it to us, and the exhaust was new, but all the hangers were off it, so it was rattling around. Now, he brought it to me with no insurance on it, so it's not like we could drive it and really test it out, right?
Yeah.
So you can't really tell too much. So we hung all the exhaust up, and the differential was blown in the thing. It was just garbage. And this guy sold him the car. I don't know, I shouldn't really say, because I wasn't there for the guy's story. I can only what Corey tells me. But the guy said it was a good car, drove it to California. Well, the fucking brake drums we had to replace, because they had grooves in them that fucking deep, gouges. So we had to replace the front shoes, we had to put new drums on, which you can see right here. The back drums were gouged out, we had to machine them. And then, you know, I don't know if you can see carefully, but these are the sway bar bushings here. They're all hammered out. The sway bar links are fucking hammered out. But Corey said to me, he went and came and got the car here on Friday. And he took it for the weekend, and he got hold of me, and he said, "Hey Rick," he said, "the car's still fucking rattling around. It's making noise." And he said, "The brakes don't feel too good. Can you look at it?" And I said, "Well, chances are the brakes being drum brakes." I adjusted them all up and set them in, but I couldn't drive the car. And after you drive a car, they just set themselves up, and then usually you readjust them real quick. Any of you YouTuber guys out there know what I'm talking about. Well, I couldn't drive it, so I could only adjust them up once, and that was it. So now he's brought it back, I readjusted them, and the brakes are fine. He's complained about rattles and all that. Well, I guess I should have paid more attention to this car when it came in, because now I'm pointing out the bushings to you. Look at here. These are your bushings underneath that go to your fucking, they hold the control arm. Can you see that, guys? Watch. Look it. Look it. You see that? Look at one fucking arm, and I'm not fucking like the Hulk or anything. Look at that. You know, what blows my mind is the guy that has this car, the guy that Corey bought this car off, took this car in, said to Corey, "Oh, right here. Here, I'll be a nice guy. I'll be a nice guy to the fucking prick that sold Corey the car. Or should I say the fucking prick that did the inspection on it? Because I'll cover that up right there. There's your 2017 vehicle inspection. How the fuck does it possibly pass a fucking inspection with wearing out fucking bushings, you fucking piece of shit? What the fuck is going on here? This is what I mean. This is the kind of shit that goes on. And a guy like Corey comes along, buys a car, and maybe the owner himself didn't fucking know, so he told Corey it's a good car. So, being that granted, I apologize to the owner who Corey bought the car. He's probably a good guy. He went by this little fucking decal right fucking there that the inspection shop put on it. Fuck you, Mr. Inspection Shop. Maybe I should be the prick right now and call out your number, and I could call the vehicle inspectors on you, seeing how I'll pull my wallet out of my pants here, and I'm a licensed fucking inspector. This is the bullshit that goes on, and people get fucked over all the time. This is what fucking pisses me off. This fucking car is a piece of shit from front to back right now, in my opinion, the way this guy has dealt with it. How do you pass a car like that? How did the brakes ever pass? How does it pass at the inspections, the sway bar links, all that bullshit? It shouldn't pass. Now, if Corey's watching this video, I'm sorry. We'll fix it, and we'll fix it right. Again, we'll go through this stuff now, but it just amazes me. How is this inspection facility? Let's see, 79. Should I go any further?
Sure.
Should I go any further? 79649? Who are you out there? Well, I'm Rick at Old Time Garage, and fuck you, and come on down if you got a problem.
Okay, so Rick's calmed down a bit, so I'll take you outside and show you what's going on. Are you calm enough?
I've calmed down a little bit.
Okay.
I want to apologize. See, I'm that type of guy where I just tell it like it is. Maybe that's why you subscribers keep watching me like me. I want to apologize to the guy that maybe Corey bought the car off, because maybe it's not his fault whatsoever. The story is his dad passed away and he went down to California and he brought this car back. He drove it back from California. Then when he brought it up here, he went for a vehicle inspection. Am I going to apologize to the dickhead that inspected it? No. There's what I've got for you right there. I'm not going to apologize, because the bottom line is that this car had to go for a vehicle inspection because it's out of province. If you crawl underneath this car, and the owner that Corey bought it off told him when I took it in for an inspection, they had to do a little bit of work to it. They put all new inner and outer tie rod ends. And of course, we're not going to go back under the car, but we could show you they did inner and outer tie rod ends. So my question is, if they're underneath there and they're looking at the suspension, how can you miss those bushings? How can you miss the sway bar links? You were supposed to, and don't tell me you're not, because I'm licensed, you're supposed to pull the wheels and measure the brake pads and measure the drums up. You're supposed to do all that shit. So how could they miss all that? Now, granted, the gouges weren't that big in the drums. I'm exaggerating. They were around that deep. Put it this way, they were deep enough where when I took them into my guy to machine them, he said, I can't machine these. They're done. And machine them, they're going to be beyond their limits. They're going to be too wide. So I had to buy new drums for Corey. I'm just thinking here, this is a problem. Maybe this poor guy that brought this car from his dad, he gets it inspected, he doesn't want it, he sells it to a guy like Corey, and who gets fucked at the end of the day? A guy like Corey gets fucked. Now what happens is Corey's phoning this guy up, getting mad at this guy, thinking this guy is the issue. Well, maybe this guy didn't know, because he's gone by the inspection facility. Here's another thing, take a look at this. Now this is a minor little fucking thing, but still, at the end of the day, as an inspector, that there's a fail, people. You cannot have bungee cords holding a battery down. Now, any American friends out there that are watching, maybe you might be looking and say, well, we're allowed that in the US of A. And maybe you are. But here in Canada, unfortunately, we're Canadian. We have to go by our rules. If this came into me, that's a fail. You got to put a proper metal battery hold down on there. So it just is blowing my mind, and I lose my shit when I see this stuff. Because first of all, Corey is my friend. And he buys cars and he has fun with cars. And so far, this car has been nothing but he's losing hand over fist here. He's got to keep paying me to fix fucking things on it. It's not right. So that's where we're going with this car right now. So we'll go where we go with it and we'll see what happens. Here comes trouble.
No, I'm freaking chilling.
Are you chilling?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. He's chilling. He's working outside today.
Yeah.
He gets to work undercover and I get to work out in the weather. So maybe that's why I'm so pissy today. The bottom line is that I shouldn't say the car's a piece of shit. It's an okay car. It's a decent little car, but it's just a piece of shit right now. I just call it that because I get fucking frustrated when I see shit like this, and these guys that inspected it, it just shouldn't be allowed. I mean, let's see, 2017 and it goes for a year. So that means that these guys inspected this car in November because that's when it runs out. So almost a year ago they inspected it. So there's no way that this fucking thing has had that you guys seen the bushing. That does not happen in 1 year. Especially when this guy hasn't driven this car. He's kept it coming. Just I can't even do it now. You have to do it from underneath. But just unbelievable. You know what I mean? You can see the fucking thing. Like I say, I mean, look at it all. No bushing left. Here we go. Let's, we're showing this, Steve. This is what goes on. Look at these bushings. Look at this.
Oh yeah, they're toast.
Here, let's take a piece out. There's a piece right there. Look at that. Corey's complaining about rattles. Look at that moving. See it? The whole fucking thing. But yet an inspection facility just passed this car for a vehicle inspection.
Holy shit.
And this is what they're supposed to look at.
So where are the pieces, the tie rod ends? Is that what they replaced? Which is right down there.
Right here you can see.
Yeah.
So
they replaced those. How do you get to that close and not see that?
That's just it.
Stupidity.
Exactly.
Laziness.
Laziness. And the problem is that if these guys are running a proper inspection facility, because when I ran it in the day, when someone came in for a vehicle inspection, you are fucking looking for stuff wrong, because that's how you make your money. You are looking, because you know why? Because they only allow you so much time on an inspection. They give you 1 hour book time to take a car like this. They get back in the day, that was when I was doing it though, 12 years ago, they'd give us 1 hour. They'd pay me 1 hour labor to go through this whole car, check the front end out, remove all the wheels, pull the drums, measure the drums, check all the bearings, check the brake shoes, check all the lights, check all the heater. It's almost impossible to do that in 1 hour. They pay you 1 hour to do it. So you're praying to God you find something wrong, because that's where you're going to make your money. Because then they're going to have to leave it there to get it fixed, because they're not going to pass. These people who inspected his vehicle just lost a whole shit full of money if you think about it. Let's throw a couple tie rod ends on. They could have done the strut rod bushings. They could have done the brakes in the front. They could have done the brakes in the back. The differential, when we pulled it out, we went to check the U-joints here. Corey asked me to check the U-joints. There was no movement in the U-joints, but the pinion gear was going like this, in and out, a good half an inch. The diff was that worn out. How did they not notice that? They could have made a shit pot full of money on all the repairs. So why is it they throw in fucking 4 tie rod ends and call it a day and leave? And they put a decal on this car, and now some poor guy's going to drive this down the road. What if that fucking thing lets loose and he hits someone or kills someone? Does that not matter? That's your decal on there. If you guys are watching me, that's your decal on there. That's your number I called out. You know how liable you are for this right now? That you are fucking totally liable. But I'm calmed down because, hey, Now I'm getting a job out of it. I feel bad for Corey. I feel bad for taking his money, but I can't let him drive this car out of here this way either. That's just the way it is. So there you go, guys. So just because you guys go and pick up a car and it's got an inspection decal on it, check it out yourself. Don't always go by that little fucking decal. Because I tell you, people will do anything to line their pockets and not have to work. Because that's the fucking world we live in today.